so here we go. A very good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. Let us begin by saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're safe. We're safe. Things weren't what some may have anticipated. And we're safe. Here we are on a Monday morning. I guess just the mere fact that we are here this morning says that we had a pretty good weekend. Hey, we're alive. Still have a roof on our heads. And I'll tell you, can't do anything but sing praises and thanks. Let's take a look at the rundown, see what we're going to get into here today. And I'm saying this with a level of caution because I am expecting a guest to be here, Earl Maitland. And unfortunately, he's not yet, but I'm keeping my pinkies crossed. He's supposed to be the first up this morning. But hopefully, while we're doing the rundown and saying hi to the folks who are racing out there to be first to log on, he'll show up, all right? When you take a look at the rundown on Facebook this morning, you probably see a caption there which should be some cause for concern. It says, some privy to the list of hurricane shelters, others not. And Earl was coming in here with me this morning. I'm hoping that he still shows to discuss that. Troubling. We also have for you the national report, which was put out on Friday evening. And then a very, very interesting piece. My lady, whose name is Amanda Jack. And on the website, you see it captioned as Modern Day Grenada Shares Biblical Similarities. Huh? I can see you scratching your head. What's that one about? I'm glad you're scratching your head because it is an interesting piece. It's a bit of an eye-opener. Listen to it carefully. Listen to it carefully. I think it runs about 24 minutes or so. And every minute is worth listening to. Some of it, unless you are somebody who studies the Bible a lot, you'll never, well, you may not understand what is being said. But there's a lot there that's said in plain, simple language, which you will understand. So stick around for that, okay? We'll do that after the national report. Now, let me turn now to, social media here on the old iPad. Yep. First up this morning, Hazel Ferguson. All right, Hazel, get a life, girl. First. Congratulations, anyway. Thank you very much. Setting the pace, eh? Peter Bishop gets nosed out a bit. And it's not the first time. It's just by a nose he gets beaten. Chester Simon out there in Switzerland's also checking in this morning. Dennis Charles, whom I understand is going to be visiting with us here in Grenada very soon. He is saying that he hopes all is well. Man, Dennis, we're just very thankful. Everything's just fine. Kipling Francis. There he is. Here comes Earl. Earl, come have a seat here. We've got it all set up for you. I want you to let me clip this on you. Come here. All right, there he goes. And he's all set to go. There's Earl. So Kipling is saying, sending his blessings to everybody as well. Deborah Parkes, hello, Debs. Hope you have a wonderful day. And yes, we're going to do just that. Samantha McFarland is saying good morning to all. And Charmaine DeLille, say Mr. George. Hey, leave the Mr. out, Charmaine. Sending blessings, which we do appreciate. Benedict Cador saying it's a marvelous Monday. Kipling Francis says, man was God's last creation, but now man thinks he knows more about God's first creation, the environment, more than God. But believe it or not, God always knows best. Yes, he does, Kippy. All right, I'll tell you what. He is here, so let's get right into it. Take a look. See, there he is. Good. Look at that smile. Look at that. You're just happy to be alive this morning,
yes,
aren't you?
of course.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
You fared fairly well yesterday?
Yes, I did with the grace of God. I believe that, the worst has been put on hold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, I mean, we always need to be prepared, but this really wasn't anything too bad, eh?
Yeah.
Thankfully. Yeah. Earl, I have you in here this morning because of a matter which happened over the weekend, in part. Mm-hmm. This is something that's been dragging on for a while. You know that a list of shelters has apparently not been put out. Now, I think everybody knows of the work you do in the community, trying to keep the people of this country informed, and your community service, helping others, and so on and so forth. And yesterday you sent me a messenger which had a list of shelters on it.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I was a little bit baffled because, I mean, I still haven't had a shelter list. When we did the broadcast yesterday, people were asking, where's the list of shelters? And we ain't seen one.
Yeah.
And I wondered, where the heck did he get that?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that, bro?
I got it from the NNP Youth Facebook page.
From the NNP's Youth Facebook page.
Yeah, that's correct. Initially, when I started off trying to acquire that list, I attempted to go onto NADMA's website, official website, nadma.gd, I believe. And that page was down. So I Googled and only saw shelters from 2005, 2010, 2017, but there was no update for 2019. So I did further digging because I know that it would be important. The weather seemed to be getting a bit worse, and persons, as we know in Grenada, the shelters that some persons live in, it can't stand up to too much breeze. So I thought it was important to share that information just in case, as you said, we can never be too prepared. And that's exactly what I did.
All right, now the list of shelters you got, was it for 2019?
Yes, it did. It said that was for 2019.
This year, this season?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I also tried getting onto the NADMA site.
Yeah.
No go.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I spoke with George Worm, editor of the New Today. He never received a list of shelters.
Yeah.
Earl, within the last hour, I also spoke with somebody from GBN. They haven't got a list of shelters.
Haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Earl, I have been harping about this since the hurricane season began. We're now well into the second half of the season. No official list of shelters. But I'm sure you are aware that yesterday, when NADMA put out one of its releases, they mentioned that I think 4 shelters were open, one in the north, one in Carriacou, and one in the west, and so on. So, and that disturbs me, Earl. It really does.
It should.
I mean, We're talking about people's lives here.
Yes, we are.
You keep telling people to prepare. Well, you can do as much of that as you want. But I'll tell you, regardless of the best you do, things happen.
Yes, they do.
And one of the things you're going to need is a place to stay. And you don't.
A secure place.
Okay.
A secure place. One of the things that baffled me though is yesterday, upon realizing that the official site was down, I called NADMA's office directly. Thankfully, they were open. It was Sunday, and
well, we had a storm on our hands.
Yeah, they were open, you know. So thankfully, they were open, but I informed the person that answered the phone that the official site is down. And the response I got was just, okay. There was
the site is down. Okay.
Yeah. You know, there was no reassurance that they will rectify or whatever it is, you know, it was just okay. And too many times we see this kind of lackadaisical attitude, you know, towards the safety of lives. You know, I'm not sure what kind of training that persons in that office would have gotten, you know. Maybe if they did get the right training, they would have, you know, more respect, more appreciation for their duties and for the lives of everyone here in Grenada.
But from time to time, we hear about various training sessions that were set up. So isn't it, rather than just the training, isn't it more a matter of mindset, Earl?
Yeah, I believe it's both. Many times we hear of a lot of trainings that are going on in these offices. And when we have the opportunity to go into these trainings, the things that are said, the things that are offered, you know, it leaves one to actually wonder, why is money being spent on these trainings, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of old talk and everything. There's no guarantee that, you know, the persons that really need the training or the type of training that the quality of training that we expect them to get, many times I don't see it happening. Also, many times we hear of meetings in the face of emergencies. There are meetings, but there's nothing going on, you know? And
committees.
Yes, a lot of committees. And nothing is happening really, no action.
Somebody once said, if you don't want to get something done, form a committee. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. That seems to be the case. They have, I was told by someone close to me that they were on WeFM yesterday. So I do believe, although, you know, I'm not here to bash NADMA, the organization, or whoever else is there, but their effectiveness, it is questionable. There's much more that could be done, you know, especially given the resources that they would have. You and I, we have limited resources. Your programs have informed the people of Grenada, and what we have is not the official information. You know, they have direct contact with the office at the airport and everything, you know, so they should be doing so much more better. And it is disappointing.
Earl, like you, I'm not here to bash, okay? I am just concerned about the safety of my people. That's all.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why these folks don't like me, because I give early warnings about these systems, all right? Last night, I just happened to glimpse at a program that was on GBN. And I made some notes. I got 4 points here, because this is where I came in. One, they were explaining that today is going to be a normal work day and school day. That's great. The lady from NADMA said that they had no reports of buildings being compromised, and for that, I'm very thankful. We did have some flooding. although
Yeah.
not nearly as bad as Tobago boy.
Yeah, Tobago was really.
They got hit. Now, the two that really, really hit me, the lady admitted that they will have to revisit their plans. That's NADMA. Revisit? Man, how about starting from scratch? Starting all over again. And while this is happening, NADMA was being praised on that television program. High praises for NADMA's performance. And then I also heard the lady from NADMA say, we are no longer, and I'm quoting here, we are no longer at a place of complacency. Come on, come on.
Wow.
You ain't give them people a list of shelters where they could go and save their butt. And you telling me that you are no longer at a place of complacency? Come on. Who are we kidding, Earl?
You know, the reality of it is that, you know, even though I expect these things from, because I mean, based on experience and everything, you know, you would expect these types of failures, but it still shocks, you know, it still shocks. It's really bad, you know. I saw some videos on Facebook with a lot of flooding and everything. And time and time again, I have said that, you know, I am willing to do whatever I can, free of cost, of course, right, to assist these committees that have been set up to ensure the safety of persons. But, you know, it's really hard to explain what is really happening in this country. But one thing for sure is that these different committees really need proper management, right? They need proper staffing. They need
a new mindset,
yes,
Earl.
they do.
Here's a note from Kipling. Kipling's watching you in New York right now. He says, I remember saying before, there was a list made only for the NNP. That proves my point. Wake up, Grenadians. You know, it's disturbing. If you told me you had gotten that list of some other website, I would say, hey, maybe they accidentally took my name and George's name and GBN's name off the list. Maybe. Okay. But when you tell me you get this thing from the NNP Youth Arm website
on Facebook,
doesn't that look bad, Earl?
it does. It does. You know, honestly speaking, you know, I didn't look at it from that point of view. You know, but having that kind of perception, you know, it's really terrible. Maybe it leaves one to wonder if this was actually intentional.
Yeah. I don't know, so I'm not going to make that allegation. But Kipling Francis now says, speaking the truth about mismanagement is not bashing. He says it's being observant, okay?
Yeah.
For the betterment of the country.
Yeah.
Dennis Jarrah says, in due time, Grenadians will wake up and see their folly of putting their trust in the current government. Again, you know, I wish I didn't have to read these things here. But this is what people feel out there, and we have to share it.
This is reality, right?
It's reality.
It's reality. One thing that I've noted, Miss Mia Motley, the
Prime Minister of
Barbados, on the few occasions that they had these encounters, I noticed that Miss Mia Motley, no matter what time it is, midnight, mid-morning, whatever it is, Miss Motley gets on to social media. She gets onto the media and speaks to her people. And this is something that we would like to see happening here in Grenada. Despite the fact that NADMA was on WeFM yesterday, I believe it was WeFM, as I was told it was WeFM. There are other platforms. A lot more platforms that persons, depending on where you are, you might not have access to WeFM. Most people are on Facebook. We're in 2019, and all of these different platforms are easily accessible by persons with this amount of resources. To me, it seems like basic common sense.
Yeah.
That, so one would recognize that the majority of Grenadians right now are on Facebook, so they will set up to have that platform, Yes, it probably did come out of nowhere, but remember the first insight that we got on this was from Trinidad, right? And it was on Facebook. This was posted by one of those Trinidadian platforms. And thankfully, we do have the access. I want to also, I want to thank Lime or Flow, that company, Flow, I believe. Flow, this is the second time that I noticed every time we are under these conditions, they actually send out 1 gig of data free of cost. Yeah, they do. So I want to thank them for that.
Salute them, yeah.
Yes, and I also believe that I saw on Facebook that Digicel also did a message and free data. So it is important that persons are able to keep in contact. You never know if your house might tumble in and you need to WhatsApp somebody and say, hey, I'm inside here. It's important. And maybe we should get persons from Flow and Digicel to manage NADMA. That's what I wanted,
Thank you for acknowledging the role that these two corporate citizens played. But when it gets to NADMA, I mean, I got a call. I got a release from, I think it was the Met Office, at about 20 after 5 yesterday morning. Just giving the coordinates of the system that was out there and saying that at 5 o'clock it will be upgraded to a storm. I got this at 20 after 5 telling me that at 5 o'clock, 20 minutes ago, this thing will be, come on. And I mean, I have a collection here of these releases. And any day that you get kind of bored, call me and say, George, give me something to make me laugh.
This reminds me of the scholarship desk at the ministry. I remember at age 26, I went to apply for a scholarship and I was asked to leave my email. And since then, for the past 7 years, I received 2 emails with scholarships, and they came weeks after the deadlines.
Come on.
Yeah, so these persons, apparently, they all have the same mindset, And this is something that I'm hoping by speaking about it, by stating this is actually what is happening, that they will, as we say in Grenada, check themselves and really do what they're supposed to do, what they're expected to do. We're speaking about persons' lives, they're babies, they're older people. We all need time, to make arrangements to protect them. It could take like 30 seconds. 30 seconds could determine whether one continues to live or not. And persons will be endangered, by spending that time trying to save others, whatever it is. And this is why the role of NADMA is extremely important. We do look forward to seeing them. I've seen many posts on Facebook where persons have expressed their disappointment in NADMA, but it does not seem as though...
Not just on Facebook. All you have to do is listen to the radio
Yeah.
and television stations, Earl.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah, you know, and one of the most concerning things for me is that it doesn't seem like they're taking it seriously.
No.
They're just going on business as usual. You know, we can do anything. We on ADMA, we answer to whatever entity they answer to, and that's about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, up to last night, I sent another email. Knowing that you were coming in here this morning, I sent another email to NADMA
Yes.
asking them, please send me the list of shelters.
Yes, I saw a copy of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I said send me the list is that I'm assuming there's a list. If this thing was posted on the NNP Youth Arms website,
Yeah.
there's got to be a list.
Yeah.
So how come people like me and George Worm and GBN
Yeah.
don't
Don't
have it?
have that. Yeah. What I'll do, I'll show you exactly. I'll show you the list where it states 2019.
Yeah.
Right? This was sent to me by someone, and this is where it says 2019 primary emergency shelters.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
And this was from the Facebook page.
Well, John Nozinek says, NADMA ain't fused or fussed. They're getting paid. Yeah. John, lives at stake here, lives at stake. I mean, we're nearing the end of the hurricane season and we still don't. And the reason why it's so important that this thing come out, this should be out before the season starts.
Long time before.
So that people can start preparing. I mean, you keep telling people, oh, well, do this, do that, clean your drains, cut your branches, don't touch down the electricity line, blah, blah. So, Papa, where I go if things go sour? I know. I mean, people do plan. I mean, if I have a list,
Yeah.
I will know, okay, boy, George, you know,
Yeah.
should I go to this one?
Yeah.
Maybe that one might be more convenient. It's something you have to decide. Not
The closest one, you know,
the closest one may not always be
the safest.
the best one,
Yeah.
the safest.
Yeah.
And by the way, the lady was asked last night by GBN if they had any idea as to the numbers of people who utilized the centers which were activated yesterday. She didn't. She didn't.
As expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, as expected.
All right, Earl,
Yes, sir.
thank you, one, for drawing this to my attention, and two, please, keep up the good work. You're opening the eyes of a lot of Grenadians. Some of them probably didn't know that certain things are going on in this country. All because of your work with you. Is that the smartphone you use?
Yes, it is.
That's your little smartphone there?
Yeah.
Hold it up. Hold it up in front of the camera so people can see this little gadget that he uses to get the word out. That's what Earl is using.
iPhone 5.
Huh?
iPhone 5.
iPhone 5?
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na, I have an iPhone 8. Okay.
Yeah.
I use two iPhones, a Samsung and my iPad.
Yeah.
Okay. But you really, really are making a difference, and people do appreciate it. You may not hear that on the street, but people do appreciate it. John says, if they're meant to be professional, then they should be ashamed. You're breathing in, you're blowing to the wind, John. Yeah? Thanks a lot. I tell you what, there is a segment, I'm going to forego the national report this morning because you and I have already taken up 15 minutes of the national report's time.
Yeah.
Because there's a piece that I want to play. You are, I'm sure, familiar with a lady by the name of Amanda Jack.
Amanda Jack. Yeah.
Amanda Jack,
Yeah, I believe so.
she's on Facebook.
Yeah.
And she's been getting some very important messages out to the people of this country. And one in particular, she posted on my page last week. And I sat there and I listened to this thing and I just marveled. I marveled. It made chills run up and down my spine. She's comparing Grenada, what's going on in Grenada, to what went on in biblical times. And it's an eye-opener, my friend. So we're going to put the national report aside this morning and play this part from Amanda. But first, let me take a little break here and say thanks to Earl, and we'll come back in just a wee bit.
Because your vehicle is a necessity, being roadworthy is critical. Hubbard's Motor Department introduces its new tire and battery sales and service outlet located at Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, close to the Sugar Mill Roundabout. Available are a wide range of competitively priced tires, maintenance-free batteries, oils and lubricants. Keeping in mind your busy schedule, this outlet is equipped to provide you with fast and reliable service. Simply drive in and you'll be delighted with your service experience. For more information, contact 440-2087. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Quad Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply Departments and Food Fair Supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's Hardware, Food Fair Supermarkets, and the Grenadian General Insurance, an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan.
Alrighty, folks, just before I get into that piece with Amanda Jack, I want to read some comments that have just been shared here on Facebook. John says, George, give them one of your iPhones. And hey, listen, how am I going to do this? I mean, how am I going to keep you guys informed if I start giving away those phones? Right now, I need 2 more iPhones, 2 more. Anthea Arulo says, hello, Anthea. Anthea says, maybe you need to give one of your phones to Nadma. Anthea, will you guys send me an iPhone, please? Preferably a 10. I see there's an 11 out now, but a 10 would do, but I would be really happy if I could get 11. There's a lot of stuff we really need to be doing here. And Donna Joseph says, good morning, one and all, and thanks to you, Earl, for the information about those emergency shelters. Yeah, thanks a lot, okay? Folks, one of many voices crying out in the wilderness through social media. Yep, you and I have talked about the many ills of social media. But if you take the time to watch carefully, you'll see that there are people who are trying to make a difference to you. They're trying to help you by imparting crucial knowledge to you. This lady, Amanda Jack, she does a lot of posts on Facebook these days. And this one was sent to me. Actually, she posted it on my personal page last week. She compares what happened in the Book of Kings with modern day Grenada. I want you to listen to this very simplistic comparison and try and spot the similarities. Please watch and listen carefully. Okay. Well, wouldn't you know it, for some reason, Amanda is not, she's there, I can see her, I'm watching her, but for whatever reason, she's not coming up. Let me, I think what I'm going to have to do is go into the national report, which I was pushing aside this morning, and let's see if that's going to come up. Oh, that's not coming up either? Well, hello there. Okay, neither of those is coming up. So I tell you what, Amanda says, thanks, George Grant, for helping me to get the message across. Well, I'm trying to help you get the message across. There you are. I'm seeing you, Amanda, but for whatever reason, this thing just ain't popping up this morning. So hold on a sec. Let me see here. What the heck happened? And you know what? I had planned on running this on yesterday morning's program, but for whatever reason, we were not able to. So the reason yesterday was that we just had too much. We were preoccupied with coverage of Karen's visit to our shores. Let me see if I can dig her up here. Well, Earl, you better remain seated there because we just may have to come back to you to kill some time. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, this piece with Amanda Jack, one way or if even I don't get this on today, I am going to get it on because it's important enough that people see and hear what this young lady has to say. Okay, so she's not coming up. Sorry about that, Amanda. Girl, we're going to get you on. We are going to get you on. But for the time being, let me get back to Mr. Earl Maitland. I hope I can get back to him and that Donna Joseph says, George, I can't even see you. I'm hearing you. Well, I'll tell you what. George is trying to get, there I am, but I am trying to get back on. But for some reason, my iPad's gone south this morning. Need an iPad too. Hold on a minute. I don't give up that easily. I don't give up that easily. Okay, there we are. Earl and I are back. Earl, yes, Jinx, Jinx.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Listen, we will never be daunted. You know, boy, the devil has a way of throwing roadblocks in the way. Yeah. But we have all overcome them, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, man.
And we will continue. Yeah.
Tell me something. You mentioned a little while ago about just before the boat left. Did our friend take off for the Bahamas?
Yes, he did. He left on Tuesday night.
Who's gone with him?
A gentleman named George.
George?
Well. Yeah, he's from Dominica.
Not me.
Yeah, he's from Dominica. Initially, we planned to send 3 vessels, but because we did not raise enough for the fuel, only 1 left. And I would like to use this opportunity to thank Miss Montpure, Miss McQueen, Rolanda McQueen. She came on Tuesday night, and she made a next contribution of $500 in diesel. So we took the dinghy, we went to Select gas station over there, Otway, and filled up 9 5-gallon bottles or something, and they sailed off into the night.
Into the
for
night.
the Bahamas, yeah.
And so they left when?
They left on Thursday.
Thursday,
yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So they should be there by tomorrow?
I believe probably they made a stop in Dominica.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So they should probably be there within 2 or 3 days. Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to go up along the chain of islands then?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I thought they were going to go across the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving up slowly but surely, and you know, they will keep us updated. I spoke to Joel on Facebook. He actually called in, you know, and I saw the name coming up. I was kind of shocked, you know. Yeah, I was a bit shocked.
What's Joel's last name?
Mark.
Joel Mark.
Yeah.
Joel Mark and Earl were here with me a week or two ago?
I believe a week.
A little over a week
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Yeah. And Joel is somebody who's decided that he has a yacht and he's decided that he's going to sail up to the Bahamas and see what assistance that he could provide to the very needy people up there. Boy, some of those stories on Facebook about what's going on in the Bahamas, horrendous, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess people are scared, you know, and the way that people react to fright, you know, is not always the best way. So it might turn into anger, some panic, whatever it is, but
A lot of that is already evident, hey, because Earl, you know, and this just brings back so many memories, make me shake, memories of Ivan. After Ivan, a lot of people were complaining about government. And yes, government did deserve a lot of criticism because they just weren't prepared, all right? But you know something, I think it's human nature. When you have the sort of traumatic experience that a lot of these people had, a level of frustration builds, which then turns to anger. And some of these people, they're demanding a lot. I don't want to say they're demanding too much because everybody needs help. But sometimes you have to be rational and realize that, hey, your government cannot do everything.
That's true. They can't. They human beings just like us, you know, there are things that could happen, but at the same time we have to arm ourselves, you know, with knowledge and everything. And this goes on to my next point. Within, I'm not sure if you saw it, within 12 days from now, we will be offering classes in CPR for the public.
Okay.
Yeah, in light of what has happened on the carnage.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We are offering CPR classes. I became aware of the procedure when I was in Scouts at PBC. So many persons are not. And this is one of the reasons I believe that when people are faced with these bad situations, this is why they jump on their phones and they start recording instead of offering any form of real assistance, because they don't know what to do. So they join on with the crowd and, you know, probably to take the shame out of their face that, you know, they're so helpless. One thing I have admitted for the past, 3 decades and some, is that, you know, I'm still helpless and I'm still learning as life goes on. And this is something that we need to actually be aware of, you know. It makes us better, better equipped. We might be able to save a life. The police response, the ambulance, it will take some time. If we're right on the spot and we're certified to do CPR or what's it called, the Heimlich
maneuver.
Right. So we want to offer that as well. You know, it could save a life. It could save a life.
I'm really glad to hear you talk about preparing to offer CPR classes, because one of the things that came up after that accident down on the Carnage, somebody sent me a video of a young child lying on the sidewalk, okay? And a whole lot of people over her. And this child is like, you know, child didn't die, child is fine. But was there helpless, and the people over her didn't seem to really know what to do. They should have been performing CPR.
Yeah, yeah.
And the person who sent this to me said, look, none of them doing the right thing. Yeah, and it was true. Just don't know how to do CPR. So thank you. See what I mean when I tell you this guy is doing his part for his community? Yeah. And like me, he comes under a lot of fire. Huh? But you know what? We keep on trucking, man. We keep on trucking. Because there are people out there who benefit and who appreciate the work that we're doing. So, you said that Joe is going to keep in touch with you, and
yeah, he is. As soon as he gets to the Bahamas and he has access to Wi-Fi, he will contact me. Yeah. Also, I will be leaving Grenada tomorrow. So if he does call in time,
where you going, boy?
To Barbados.
In Barbados? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now you're going to the Bahamas too.
Yeah, no, if he calls in time, that's part of the plan. Calls in time and says which island he is on. I'd like to meet him there. You know, as you know, there are 5 days on the sea.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I know the stomach for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the stomach for
Can you swim? No.
No.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Yeah.
A lot of Grenadians just can't.
Yeah. I could do a bit of paddling and a bit of diving, but yeah. You know?
Diving without help. You know, just throw you in the water.
Yeah.
Down you go. Right?
I saved my life once, you know. After cross country in Form 3, we left and we went to Grand Anne's Beach, and I was pulled out by the wave, and I dived in, you know. Yeah.
There's a note here from Samantha McFarlane. Sam says, people need also to move when Mother Nature is approaching. You know, she has a point there. Earl, no matter how much advice you give to the populace as a storm approaches, a lot of people just don't bother.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when they pay the penalty during that storm, they are the first and most vocal to be heard.
Yeah.
Why they didn't do that? Why they didn't do that? Why choo 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 choo?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
We need to be attentive to the information being put out there. But we also need to be cautious, and being attentive means screening the information that's put out there. For example, one of the releases I received from NADMA on the weekend said that, it said that tropical storm force winds extend out 125 miles an hour from the center. Explain to me how that makes sense. The winds extend a number of miles, not a number of miles per hour. The tropical storm force winds were not 125 miles an hour.
And this was from NADMA?
Huh?
This was from NADMA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again.
So, you know, these folks need help. And as I mentioned before on this program, for years, I was part of the NADMA team up at Fort Frederick up there. But then when I realized you're beating your head against a brick wall, I thought, no, I love my head too much. I want to keep it intact. And I just silently moved away. Let them do their thing. But I still try to disseminate their information. Except that my listeners will tell you that when they put out this information about NADMA being the only official source, it galls me. If you're the only official source, then we need to be able to...
Something close to perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they don't have. Human nature versus Mother Nature.
Human nature versus Mother Nature.
Yeah.
So, by the way, what else? What other mischief you been getting into in the community? Helping this one and helping that one and helping the other and doing lives. Huh?
Yeah, we're there. You know how it is. It's a cycle. We've been doing a lot. Rosemary and I were actually getting into organizing some recycling of tires and everything, so we could not only provide employment for persons, but also do our part in ensuring that the environment stays clean and healthy. Yeah, everything. We're here. We're here to stay.
Voluntarily.
Yeah, voluntarily.
Yeah. Now, another thing I want to mention, since you brought up the environment, Earl, is that a couple of months ago, two tour operators, I guess you know a guy named Mandu Seals.
No, I don't.
Mandu is always dressed in white. He's a tour operator, always dressed in white. And he works with another tour operator by the name of Ian Blakey. These people run a group called the Grenada Green Group. They work to keep the environment clean. And a couple of months ago, they took me on a tour up the west coast of Grenada to see some of the illiterate dumping that's been taking place. We went as far up as Liverpool, and the sun went down on us, so we weren't able to complete the cycle. But as recently as Saturday, I spoke to them, and we're hoping that sometime within the next 3 weeks, we're going to take off again on another tour. And this time probably do more of the interior of the island as well as come on down the west coast. I also received an email from somebody named Claudette Pitt. She is with a group called Spectral, and they've been doing a lot of work cleaning up the environment. And she was pretty uptight a couple of days ago when she heard or saw in social media, somebody published something on one of the local websites, that Grenada is the worst place in the world when it comes to discarding plastic. Boy, did that really tick her off, okay? And she went on to describe a lot of the work that's being done to clean up. So we're going to include them in the next piece that we're doing.
That would be great.
And if you're around, if you come back from Barbados in time and don't decide to stow away to the Bahamas, maybe you should join us on this thing.
That wouldn't be a problem. Rosemary, I'm sure she would like to
Okay.
have a say on that. She does a lot of environmental work.
Okay.
There was once, I believe, she was referred to as an expert.
An
In
expert.
that field, yeah.
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 Yeah. Let's keep in touch, and you know, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah. John Wellington is joining us here on Facebook and saying, "Good morning. Thank God we were spared by Karen. Have a lovely day, my people." Well, thank you so much, John. Well, we have a lot of Johns on this forum. John Nosy Neck, John Wellington, John Bruno, John Maitland. Nah, no John Maitland yet. All right, thanks a lot for bailing me out here this morning. And by the way, folks, I don't think what happened this morning with not getting Amanda on was anything cynical. I do believe that the iPad sort of croaked on me there for a little while. It's still alive because we're still on the air. But we are going to run that piece by Amanda Jack. And if I have to push the national report aside tomorrow morning, I certainly will, because you know we have Ray Roberts on Tuesdays, so that's what we'll probably do. We'll probably do the Amanda Jack piece tomorrow morning instead, okay? Thanks a lot, matey.
No problem, George.
So let me take a quick little break here, and then we'll come back with parting words.
Because your vehicle is a necessity, being roadworthy is critical. Hubbard's Motor Department introduces its new tire and battery sales and service outlet located at Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, close to the Sugar Mill Roundabout. Available are a wide range of competitively priced tires, maintenance-free batteries, oils and lubricants. Keeping in mind your busy schedule, this outlet is equipped to provide you with fast and reliable service. Simply drive in and you'll be delighted with your service experience. For more information, contact 440-2087. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Quad Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank. And there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, time now to pull the curtain down. Where are we? It's 9:57 and a half. Today's parting word comes to you from the first book of Peter, chapter 4, verses 14, 15, and 16. If you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. If you suffer, it should not be because you are a murderer or a thief or any kind of criminal or even as a meddler. However, if you suffer as a Christian, do not be ashamed, but praise God that you bear that name. Check it out yourselves, my friends. First book of Peter, chapter 4, 14 to 16. Can you believe it? We're actually bailing out of here on time this morning. I'm not keeping you guys overtime this morning. Nice way to start the week, eh? Yeah. Tomorrow morning, we're hoping to have Ray in here as usual. Then on Wednesday, Sharon. And on Thursday, Alan. And on Friday, Brian Pitt. Another full week lined up for you folks. So accept my thanks and God's blessings. You have a wonderful day by His grace. We'll see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m.